Good. Terrance, I want to just ask you quickly about media coverage, particularly yesterday. I was watching 9 News, and it was reported that you confessed to planting a knife on Mr. Jones. Do you have any comments around that?
Yeah, and I want to say I wasn't going to do any media until after my trial, but since I appreciate the coverage that you've been doing for the community and it's been more fair and accurate, I want to just let the community know that I did not agree or admit to planting a knife on Hassan Jones. I admitted to throwing the knife on him that they left on the scene and taunting me and calling me a snitch. I didn't plant a knife. Why would I plant a knife when I planned a peace rally and there was already a rally in my office and I knew for a fact media would be there and I thought it could be up to 300 people.
What do you think in terms of the media coverage? Why would they, in your opinion, why do you think that it would be skewed in such a way? I think planning is a huge word in terms of coverage.
I mean, I think that within the community and people who were at my trial, people seen how they slighted the story and put a twist on it. But then the broader community of people, and like let's say cherry picker people who weren't here in my trial, of course they will see planted, or even my jurors, if they're reading about my case and they're not supposed to, could take that in the wrong way. And I mean, a librarian testified yesterday that she seen a gang member with a red shirt holding a gun. Nobody said anything about her testimony in the press as well. So I don't know why the local media is taking these different slights towards my character or towards what I said happened to me. I think that it would probably be the job of other journalists to inquire of these other journalists as to why the Denver Post keeps using a picture of me that looks like I've already been found guilty. And I talked to Noelle Phillips about that. I appreciate her story yesterday, it was accurate, but they continue to use this picture of me, and they have hundreds of stock pictures of me over 10 years, but they keep using this one photo of me that makes it look like I've already been found guilty and I'm being escorted out of the courtroom, and I think that's prejudicial towards me to the public.
One final question, in terms of jury of your peers, one juror was released. Do you want to make a comment on that in terms of your thoughts around the release of the only black male juror that was on the jury?
I think, like probably most people in the community think, who seen that Mr. Gaddison was removed from our jury, first they sent him a jury notice, jury duty notice, to this name of Marcus Gaddison. That's for one. For two, the district attorney's office and the judge both said I didn't do anything wrong in him getting onto my jury. That was not reported in the media. The media reported like I was complicit in him being on my jury when he was not supposed to be on my jury. They sent him a jury instruction to his name that he used, and I don't even know Mr. Gaddison like that. I'm an African American from Northeast Denver. If you're an organizer or if you're in the community and if you catch a case like mine, that means you'll never be able to have a jury member of your peers on your jury, because we all know one another. We're all pushed to one section of town. We're Facebook friends from years ago. I have 5,000 Facebook friends. So do you, so does Mr. Gaddison. I think that it's improper and unfair how they researched and how they investigated my only black jury member, because I probably have some of my white jurors could possibly be Facebook friends of mine. Also, there's a sister who works here who's a victim's advocate who works for the district attorney's office, a short sister with the blonde hair. Mr. Gaddison was one of my jurors, and they had conversations every single day. But my defense team didn't bring that up about him and this lady having conversations, because his mother and her mother are best friends. But as soon as they found out that we were Facebook friends, they investigated him and removed him. Pretty much they said he was under an alias name, but this is the name they sent his jury duty notice to. So, I mean, they removed him off my jury. I don't think it's fair. If I'm convicted, it's just an appealable offense, and I have to see what happens while I'm in prison.
What's your message to the community?
I mean, my message is simple. I love my community. That's why I did the work that I did. I think this is an unfortunate event. No one's happy about this. And I'm just too bad that this has happened. Too bad that it got to this. And when I bounce back from this, I'm gonna be doing more development, and I'm gonna be working with youth, and I'm gonna organize to the best of my abilities, whatever that'll be at that time.
You testified that you did not intend to kill Mr. Hassan Jones. And if you intended to do so, you had ample opportunity. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes, sir. I had 7 bullets left in my gun. This was testified to by the prosecution and the Denver Police Department. And I was standing right there having a conversation with him. I just wanted to make sure I was safe and the people who were with me were safe. After I felt like we were safe at that moment, I backed away from Mr. Hassan, and I stood there in a responsible manner, I should say, with my pistol pointed at the ground, like the police testified to, and just make sure that I was not going to be injured, or anybody else who pretty much were with me at the time.
There was a witness that indicated that she saw an individual in a red shirt that also had a gun, and she had put that in her police report. Do you think that that was explored, or does that seem like it was glossed over?
I feel like it was glossed over, but I think that it was explored during her testimony because she said it to the jury. I didn't think we need to hammer her on it. She said it. I think it was glossed over by the media because it seems like when there's points that are slanderous to my character or they don't understand it, they do that publicly and they push that. But why wouldn't you say that a party who was impartial to both sides of this equation said that she's seen a man in a red shirt with a pistol, and you see from the video footage that all of these bloods were trying to attack me even when the police were there arresting me.
What's your vision for Park Hill, and what's your vision for your community moving forward?
My vision's been the same. It's proper development done by the people, a safe community, a community where those kids can grow up and not have to keep reading about the drive-by in the Holly or the fighting from East that's spilled over into South Park Hill. Just a regular community where these kids can grow up, thrive, not be traumatized by violence, by poverty, and become doctors or scientists or lawyers or police officers or whatever they want to become.
Thank you, T.
Yes, sir.